Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you a technique that lets you add dynamic motion to your character's clothing. We'll be talking about a shadow-based animation that simulates the effect of wind on fabric. You've probably seen this effect in many military games, like Battlefield 6 for example. Yeah, that's exact effect. By the end of this video, we'll achieve a result similar to what you are seeing on screen right now, and you'll be able to control its intensity and overall look using simple shader sliders. In future videos of this tutorial, we'll take it even further and learn how to use this effect dynamically in the game. For example, when a character gets close to a helicopter or when weather conditions change. In this tutorial, I'll be using our latest metahuman asset, the Gorka military outfit. You can find the link to it in the description below. It's a loose, oversized outfit that works perfectly for what we are trying to achieve here. Alright, let's start in Substance Painter, where we will create a mask for this effect. Where the mask is lighter, the effect will be stronger. Where it's black, there will be no effect at all. Don't pay attention to these colored parts of the texture. Those are masks used to apply different colors to the Gorka outfit. For this effect, we only need a single black and white mask. I'll create a new layer and I'll build the mask in the opacity channel, since it's not being used in this asset. You can use any other channel or even create a new one if needed. To make the effect feel more natural, I'll use a baked curvature map as a base. The folds are brighter there, which means the wind effect will be slightly stronger on them. This step is optional. You can use a simple black and white mask if you don't have a curvature texture. What really matters is that the mask has a perfectly consistent color along the UV borders. For that, I'm using a border distance generator, which creates a white margin along the UV edges. But instead of using it directly, we'll use it as a mask to overlay a natural gray color on top of the curvature map. This is very important. Otherwise, the pixel offset along the UV seams in our material will be uneven, and during the wind simulation you'll start to see gaps and holes in the clothing, and that's definitely something we want to avoid. Now that we have the curvature mask and the seams filled with a neutral gray, we can add a black mask to the folder with these textures and start revealing them by painting manually. Using white, we will paint the areas where we want the wind effect to be the strongest. Typically, these are the parts of the clothing that are farthest away from the character's body. In areas where the fabric is tied or held in place with elastic, we want little to no wind effect. Once the mask is roughly painted, we will manually blur the transitions so there is a smooth gradient between the areas with maximum effect to those with no effect at all. Now let's jump back into Unreal. I've packed the wind effect mask into the alpha channel of the Gorka outfit mask, so I'll just re-import this texture. And here is it, the mask we created in Substance Painter. Now let us open cloth material and add the required effect. I'm using a more complex layered material with micro details, but if you are using the standard RMA approach, everything works exactly the same. The wind effect is plugged into the material's volt position offset input. Let's bring in the simple grass wind function. For now it will do the job, but it doesn't provide enough flexibility, so a bit later we will create our own version by slightly modifying it. Now let us create and plug in some scalar parameters that will allow us to control the wind effect and connect them to the simple grass wind function. Next, we will multiply the output of this function by the wind mask texture we created in Substance Painter. and plug the result into the material's volt position offset input. Now let's take a look at what we have so far. It looks a bit strange, and that's because the simple grass wind function is designed to look good on grass at a large scale, like across a field. For closing, we need a much smaller turbulence scale. However, the parameter that controls the turbulence inside the simple grass wind function isn't exposed, so we can't adjust it directly. That is why we will create our own function, simple close wind. We will copy all the functionality from simple grass wind, but add an extra input that allows us to control the turbulence scale. Our function is ready, so now let's replace simple grass wind with our new simple close wind in the material. Behind the scenes, I found through testing that a turbulence value of around 40-50 looks the most natural. Okay, that's it for today's video. If you found it helpful, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next part, where we will learn how to make the wind effect react dynamically to the environment. And see you later. Bye bye.